This diagram illustrates an incredible geographical anomaly. That tiny sliver at the bottom represents Costa Rica's landmass, just 0.03% of the Earth's surface. But stacked on top of it is roughly 6% of the entire planet's biodiversity. But this wasn't always a secure haven. By 1983, aggressive clearing and logging had stripped the country's forest cover down to roughly 26%. Habitats fractured, and apex predators vanished from massive stretches of the countryside. Since then, the forests have rebounded to nearly 60% coverage. In the Costa dry forest, camera traps recorded 0 jaguars between 2005 and 2009. By 2021, those same cameras logged 20 distinct individuals, including 11 males and 8 females. Costa Rica demonstrated that national-scale ecological collapse is reversible on land, pulling a depleted landscape back from the brink in just 4 decades. Yet, moving off the coastline and into the water, the data tells a different story. Over a single decade, populations of scalloped hammerhead sharks in Costa Rican waters dropped by an estimated 90%. Between 2012 and 2017, the country exported 455 tons of shark fins. Even recently, national fisheries regulators authorized the shipment of Nicaraguan-origin hammerhead parts through Costa Rican ports, despite a Supreme Court order to end the fishing of endangered sharks. A country that rebuilt its forests harbors a different reality at sea. This friction is forcing a test for its environmental legacy. To understand the forest recovery, consider the Payment for Environmental Services program. The government collects a slice of the national fuel tax and funnels it to more than 18,000 families, paying them to protect and regenerate the land they own. A specialized government unit then uses those funds to build solar electric fences and night enclosures. By funding protective infrastructure, the state ensures that a jaguar in the buffer zone is no longer a financial threat to a ranching family. The shift changed how local families profit from the land. Wagner Duran, whose family originally cleared 50 hectares of rainforest, eventually saw his ranch go 7 years without a predator attack due to the program. Today, he works as a national park ranger. These results suggest that conservation achieves national scale when local communities are financially incentivized to be allies, rather than treated as enemies. Now consider how that same logic is applied to the ocean. In late 2021, Costa Rica dramatically expanded its bicentennial marine management area. This map shows the new borders, pushing out to cover over 30% of the country's waters. But inside those borders, industrial activity didn't stop. Because the government hasn't issued the regulatory measures required to restrict fishing in the zone, commercial fleets continue to operate there, making it a protected area in name only. We know real protection works when it's actively managed. Look at this chart tracking illegal fishing activity around Cocos Island. After a coalition installed a long-range tracking radar, suspicious vessel hours dropped from over 5,500 down to just 67 the following year. Drawing boundaries on a map does not protect a species, unless the government issues binding regulations that legally restrict industrial activity inside those lines. In early 2026, Laura Fernandez Delgado took office as the second female president in the country's history. She inherits a government facing a severe security crisis and a stalling tourism sector, issues that currently dominate the political conversation. Still, the government is attempting to export its terrestrial success to the coast. They recently launched a marine payment for environmental services pilot, paying over 150 mollusk gatherers to protect mangroves in the Gulf of Nicoya. The next phase of this strategy involves a specific gap in the map. This is the stretch of open water between Costa Rica's Cocos Island and Ecuador's Galapagos. While Ecuador prepared its side of a transboundary corridor, Costa Rica has yet to formalize its legal counterpart. The necessity of this corridor is clear. A tagged pregnant hammerhead named Cassiopeia swam the entire 700-kilometer gap between the reserves in just 14 days. Costa Rica has already proven it can solve these problems on land. Now, its international standing depends on whether it can apply those same lessons to its sharks.